Hello everybody. I'm gonna see if I can find our online workshop so we can get going. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb because we're getting ready to stamp. Hi Sue, it's so good to see you. Thank you my friends for coming. I have been thinking about doing a workshop for a very long time. So plus 15 years ago, so we're talking probably 18 or 19 years ago, I was invited to my first Stampin' Up! Workshop. My sister-in-law, Amy, invited me, and we went up to my demonstrator's house, the one that signed me up, and actually, it wasn't at her house. It was at, they own their own business, so it was at like a meeting room, like the lunchroom in their business. Anyway, it was my first experience with Stampin' Up! And I bought a bag of stuff and I put it away in the closet and I didn't touch it until my daughter was born. So fast forward to about 16 years ago, I started going to every class that demonstrator offered. My husband worked very long hours. He would leave the house at 6 in the morning and drive an hour plus down to work. His work is probably an hour, 15 minutes, hour, 30 minutes from here. So he would leave around 6 in the morning and he wouldn't get home until after 6 at night. So by the time he got home, I was a new mom. I'd be like, here's the baby. Off to class. We'll see you later. So that's how I got introduced to Stampin' Up! Cheers. Coffee. Make sure you get yourself a beverage because we're going to be here for a little bit. So, oh, Ella, you finally found me online while I'm live. That's awesome. I love it. Okay. So, then I was in a wedding. Or actually, Brian was in a wedding. He was the best man in Mikey and Lisa's wedding. And I wanted to make Lisa all of her thank you notes. And Stampin family's huge. They have I made 180 wedding thank you cards. And I made 180 shower thank you cards. So I made a ton of cards. And back then, the starter kit was, I don't know, I think it was $275. But you could customize what you wanted. They gave you a set supply list that you had to get in the starter kit back then. And it just so happened to fit into this giant order that I was placing to make this gift. So I got the matching pens and the postage, and I made 360 thank you cards for Lisa Stampin because my husband was best man in their wedding. And what a joy. And then I came home and I told my husband that I bought a kit. And we are like opposite of most people. I'm like, honey, I bought a kit. Don't worry. I just did it for the discount. I am not gonna buy anything. I'm not gonna sell anything. Don't worry about it. I'm just doing it so I can do Lisa's thank yous. And he said, you're a stay-at-home mom. You're an artist. This should be your job. And I'm like, what are you, crazy? I'm not a salesperson. And I still don't consider myself to be a salesperson. To this day, I'll have, I bought my kit on March 17th. So it'll be 15 years on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, that I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And I didn't think of it as even a job. Like something that somebody could do that would actually help out, like tuition payments and dance lessons like I do now, but I never saw it like that. And even now, I just look at it as a way to serve people because I have always been good at art and I love doing crafty stuff. And along that same time frame, I used to teach classes. Oh, somebody's trying to get in. Let me go help them in. I used to teach classes at AC Moore, and I met these 3 people at a class in AC Moore, and they're like, hey, have you ever heard of Stampin' Up? And I'm like, they're like, can you talk about it? I'm like, They're like, if you decide to be a demonstrator, we'll be your first customers. And what do you know? They were. There are 3 ladies. They live in Salem, New Hampshire. They know who they are. But I won't embarrass them and name them out or anything. But still good friends. I was actually in touch with one this week. So it's really cool how this craft thing has brought so many great friends into my life, and I didn't expect it. And now this month we had like a whole bunch of people join our team. We did a drawing for every time 10 people have joined, and we're on the 2nd round. So I know that we've had at least 12 or 13 people join our group in the last month or 2. And it's because of the great deal going on. So if you fall in love with the products and you want your own discount, you don't have to place an order. You can message me after and you could join my team, which would be a bit different, but you'd get your own discount from the beginning. It's $99. You pay $125. You're on my team till at least June or July. And then if you spend enough to keep up your minimums, great. And if you don't, there's no strings. We're not getting married. I don't do pressure. I don't do conversions. And if you're one of my good friends who have been wondering what the Stampin' Up thing is, you're in for a treat. I'm gonna show you from the very beginning. So those of you who are here that are expert stampers, I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate your you cheering me on, because sometimes it's really hard to go back to say, okay, this is a block. We're gonna stamp with these rubber stamps. We're not like doing postage stamps, we're doing rubber stamps. But I didn't know what a stamp party was. I thought it was postage. And they come off and on. So to start, you might want to get a stamp and a block. And the nice thing is you can reuse the blocks. And when they get dirty, I toss mine in the dishwasher. I mean, I clean them in between, but to get them good and sparkling clean, I Goo Gone any gunk that gets on them, and I toss them right in the dishwasher with my dishes, and they come out super duper clean. So that's step 1, stamps. Then you have ink pads. This is an ink pad, and I know it's backwards, but that's okay. We'll start right from the very beginning. And our ink pads, this one is one of my favorite colors. It's an in color this year. It's called Misty Moonlight. Oh, hi, honey. My stud muffin's on. He's the one that talked me into doing all of this 15 years ago. He said it should be my job, and you know what? He's right. Anyway, to open this bad boy, we're gonna open it like a compact. So you just take it and you lift it straight up until it's open, and this is all squishy, and it has the ink on it, and then you just tap it into place. Now, if you're having trouble because you get a new ink pad and you squeeze the sides, you may not be able to get it to close, because if you're squeezing the sides, it makes it tighter. So when you're going to close it, make sure you do it all loosey-goosey. Now, I'm going to put the cover on this, because if I don't, you know what's going to happen to me. It's going to be all over my hands. So we did stamps, a block, hello, and the blocks are reusable, yay, ink, and paper. And then finally, the big thing you'll need is stuff to stick it together. So I'll jump in and show you that in a minute, but this is Stampin' Seal Plus. I like stuff extra sticky, because then I'm more is more. This is the super sticky one. There's a lightly sticky one that you could definitely use. Okay, so we have 3 current catalogs, and to start at the very beginning, I want to show them to you. Now, if you're brand new to me, if you're here, I couldn't see because we have like a whole bunch of people watching, but if you're here, Kissy has never stamped with me, and right now it's kind of hard. We all have parents that are older, and we're all watching what we're doing, and we don't want to meet in person. But if you need catalogs, anybody who places an order, you just tell me that you need a catalog, and I will get them into you. Today, the 5 cards that we're making, I will mail you the cardstock, the ribbon, the embellishments, everything you need to put them together, except for stamps, ink, and adhesive. So if you're gonna place an order to get kit for free, we could start there, and I can help you when we get off for sure. But I'm going to flip the camera, and I want to start with showing you the catalog a little bit, because the first thing I do in a catalog is I'm looking to make sure that I don't lose our that I don't lose the feed. And I lost it. Technology. Here we go. Events, media. Yep, I totally lost it. Videos. There we go. I'm looking for. All right. Okay, so I'm back. Whew. All right, so we're going to open up the catalog, and I want to show you just a couple of things. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I want you to know there's some really cool stuff going on, and it's the end of Celebration, and Celebration is only lasting one more week. So a week from today is the day we're going to close out the party, and it's going to be by the time my team meeting starts at 3 o'clock. So let's flip the camera, and we'll take a look at the book. I'm going to put my hand over the camera so I don't make anybody dizzy here. And we'll take a look at my computer and the catalog. Here. I'm going to move that over. Hopefully I have enough juice in my computer that I don't lose anybody. Okay, so this is the Celebration book, and this book only goes through next Sunday. But basically, everything in here is free. So you see this $50 medallion? Anytime you see one of these 50s, or in the back there's a couple of items that you can get for free with 100. Hang on. The berries are free with 100. And this butterfly stamp set is free with a $100 order. But everything else is free with the 50. So what the thing you should know about this catalog, and I can send you links to the catalog if you don't have one, and if you're placing orders, I can certainly give you one. If you prefer to just get a catalog, I typically charge $5 for shipping, and then I'll give you a $5 coupon when you place your first order. So essentially it's free, but the shipping costs me. So anyway, $50 for free, you get this designer series paper. Well, guess what? We're going to play with this designer series paper here today. That's what we're going to do in our workshop. So this is an item that you can get for free when you spend $50. In addition today, if you spend $35, you'll get the supplies to make the 5 cards. You won't get the stamp set or the ink. But if you spend $50, in addition to getting a free Celebration item, like a pack of paper or one of the stamp sets, I'm going to throw in Pearl Basic Jewels. And in order to get these and the free card kit, you'd want to shop in my online store using the host code. And I meant to put it in the top of the video description, but I'm going to have to do it when we get offline. I had it already, but it wasn't pasting when I went to start the video up. So anyway, so this book ends in a week, and basically everything in it is free when you place an order out of these 2 catalogs. So this one ends in June, and this one ends the beginning of May. I think it's May 3rd. Let's just take a look here. It says it somewhere. I think it's May. I'm pretty sure it's May 3rd. So, in the beginning of the book are all of these pre-cut kits. And I am a huge fan of kits because it makes life a whole lot easier. See this one? This is a surprise every month. It's called Paper Pumpkin. And I can give you a quick peek at this month's kit. But this is a subscription, so if you want this, this isn't going to be in the links, but you get a block, and every month you get a stamp set. You don't get a block every month, but you get 1 block when you start. Every month you get a stamp set, and you get a little Stampin' spot for ink. And then, oh, look it, Adventure Awaits. In next month's Paper Pumpkin, they've added a surprise, 4 stencils and a sponge. That's pretty cool. So every month it's a surprise, and I don't even know what's in here this month because I haven't opened mine yet, but this is what we have to look forward to for this month's card kit. So I subscribe. My daughter has subscribed since she was about 8 years old, And one day she started a YouTube channel, and she does videos every month. She hasn't done this one yet. This one just came in. But the reason that I wanted to show you the kits, and the kits are usually all at the beginning of the catalog, is because if you're brand new to stamping, grabbing one of these kits is a great way to start, because it typically, a lot of them come, see, this one is all inclusive, so it comes with the stamps and the ink. I would also recommend getting an adhesive dispenser, because the little glue dots that come with it are a little persnickety, and I prefer quick and easy. So today we're going to play with a stamp set that goes with one of the kits in the January through June catalog called You Are Amazing. Now this particular kit is beautiful, and but it does call for 4 different ink pads and a stamp set if you wanted to put it together. These are all the things that you'd need to buy in order to put the kit together. But what I did was I got my project kit in, and I did it with just one color of ink. So I changed all of these samples to Pretty Peacock. So these are what they look like. Instead of like the green, here, let me show you, if I can show you a close-up of the directions. So this is the green, right? I did it all in one color. And I think that they are beautiful, and that they don't need to be, I don't think you need 4 different ink pads. I think one would do for it. So if you decided that you love today's card kit, you could also pick up one of these and a ink pad, the Pretty Peacock ink pad, and that would cover you for making 16 projects. So not only do you get all the pre-cut stuff that you need, right? But you get like all the envelopes, and they are lined. Aren't they cool? And then there's a box that it comes in, and it's just so pretty when it's all put together. It would be a great gift to make someone. My mom loves getting cards from me, and who knows, this might end up being hers, because I do go through, I have a lot of cards here. So this kit, it coordinates with the stamp set that we're going to use today, which I think is really important. Okay, so that's just a quick snapshot of the catalog, and I will tell you that everything that I use today will be, at the end of the video, I will copy and paste everything I used with links to my store to the top. So if you spend $35, I'm going to send you the card kit with the 5 cards that we're going to make today. So I did these cards last month with my team, and I have a confession to make. I already mailed them all out, so I didn't have a sample for today, but I think it's going to be okay. So when you get your card kit in the mail, this is what it's going to look like. Card 1 is the You Are Amazing card, and I pre-do your directions for you so that all you have to do is print them out, and you're ready to roll. So the You Are Amazing set stamp I put on this block, and you'll notice that I don't put stickers on the back of mine. I line my block up with my words to make sure that my words are straight on the block, and then I don't use a sticker. I have a problem getting the stickers straight, so I just don't use them. I just make sure that it's lined up straight on my block. And then if someone were here and stamping with me in person, they would know that to line the block up with the paper to get it straight. So I pre-cut all of these pieces for you guys in your kit. And Alexis actually prepped this for me yesterday. She's been working for me. And we have a few little pieces here. And I'm just going to grab, I always have to forget something to a workshop. So I'm going to grab a couple of quick things. And let's get ready to stamp. I'm so excited. With this whole pandemic thing, I can't do my usual in-person workshops. So this is really nice to be able to just sit and craft with you guys today. So please do a roll call and let me know where you are And as we're stamping through, we can read everybody's location. I think it's so cool. I know that we definitely have a few states covered here. So there is a front and a back to this die cut shape. It is stitched. So you want you'll notice when you look at it, you'll see which one is the front, but I stamped just on the front, and then I'm gonna flip this over. And these are dimensionals, and they're used to add a little bit of height on the card. Now, when I first started using dimensionals, I used to go crazy with them, like height-wise, and I would do doubles. So I would put like a dimensional and then another dimensional. But if you go over a 1/4 inch thick, you have to pay extra postage when you mail the card out. So it's okay if you're hand delivering. So this is an adhesive dispenser, and it doesn't come like this. It comes with adhesive in it, but when you have to refill it, I thought it might be good for you to see how to do it. So we're just gonna open this up. And this is the Seal Plus. It is a little bit stickier than the other one. We have 2 different kinds of, and it's really cool. It's a double tape. I know that, I don't know if Lori Burnham's on, but Lori is my friend who probably has never seen me stamp. And she's a school teacher. Can I just tell you, these are the best things ever. Because it's a double-sided adhesive that you can just keep in your desk drawer at school. The other thing, if you were a teacher or really anybody, during the pandemic, I used Stampin' Up's $10, or I think they're $12 now. Yeah, they've gone up. They're $12. The $12 paper snips to cut my family's hair. They are sharper than my German hair cutting scissors. And yes, I am a licensed hairdresser. I don't know if you guys knew that about me. Carver, Massachusetts, Honesdale, Pennsylvania. Woohoo! So they come with this little sheath, and it's a good thing because if you're rooting around in your purse and these bad boys are in there and you don't have the sheath on, you could hurt yourself. So they are super sharp, and they are awesome paper scissors, and they're just good to have. Like, I have 4 or 5 pairs, and one is in the bathroom for hair cutting. Which is pretty funny. Okay, so I punched this out of the medium punch daisy die. Actually, Alexis did. I should stop saying I, because she prepped this for me yesterday. And here we go. I am just holding on to these petals. Now, if I don't hold really good to the base, when I take my bone folder to curl this over, I would have like a he loves me not situation where I would be losing petals, but that's okay. Even if we lose a petal here or there, we have glue. So I'm gonna curl both sides of these, and then I'm gonna stick them together, what I call the hug. And for that, I'm gonna use a little liquid glue. So I just put a dot of liquid glue, and it's kind of more than I want. That's quite a bit of, you don't need a lot when you're working with liquid glue. Just a little bit will do ya. And then you stick the 2 sides together like a hug, like that, okay? And then this little guy is gonna go up on a mini dimensional, and I grabbed mini dimensionals, and what do you know? Every single one is used. So I'm gonna take a regular dimensional and just cut it. So if you have regular size dimensionals, it's fine. If you do decide to buy mini ones, just know that they come with a ton, and you'll probably have all you ever need in one package for life. Although I did finish a sheet of them, but I do this a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna put the dimensional, a mini dimensional on the back and peel that off. Or you can, like I said, you can cut up one with your paper snips. And then roll it over and put it on top of the flower. And then this is magic juice. They're 8, I forget how much they are. I'm just gonna let you look at them in the supply list. But I am going to paint this with Wink Stella. I don't know if you can see the sparkle in that. I am telling you, you could put this on everything. I would put it on Alexis going to school if she didn't swat at me. I don't think I haven't tried. Okay, so now we can put our designer paper together, and all the measurements are in the PDF, which I will send to anybody who places that $35 order and gets their packet sent out. So I'll, here we go. So I just fast forward to start that adhesive, and I am putting just a little bit because this is the super sticky stuff, and attaching that. And then we're going to tie the ribbon on. So for those of you who are on my team, you're probably going to laugh because those who are on my team have seen these projects before. These were last month's team meeting. I do a team meeting every single month, and the directions are, of course, free for my team, for all my classes, and for the team meeting as well. But if the team wants a packet for the meeting, all they have to do is, it's $10, and that includes shipping. So shipping is like $5. So it's really next to nothing. It's just a little bit so I can pay my helper. This morning, Brian helped me prep next Sunday's team meeting. Okay, so can you see that I tied my ribbon a little bit wonky and loose there? Well, it's okay, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back, and then I'm going to tighten it up on the back. So nobody's going to know when they receive that card that I didn't tie it perfect out of the gate. Like that. So nobody really ties a perfect bow out of the gate. And if they do, well, I'll call them Martha Stewart. I don't. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna paste this on. Oh, I go Winkastella. That's right, Shelley. I'm not sure if Miss Diane is here, but Diane has an industry term for that. I hope that she hears me and posts it, because it's funnier when it comes from her. And then I am going to just stick this on my card front. Isn't that pretty? This is my favorite pattern in that designer paper. And this is the designer paper that I got free with a $50 order. And the gingham ribbon is just adorable too. Okay, and then, so I put a bazillion dimensionals on the back of this, but it's really just about having the right support. I don't want to have like just a couple on the edges and then have everything wimpy in the middle. So I always load them up, but you don't have to peel them all off. I just peeled off the outside 4, and I'm going to hang that over the side. And then this guy, I'm going to put down flat, because remember I said if you put a second dimensional, like if I put this on top of this, it's extra postage. But because I'm going to stick it down, you know, wherever I want. Ooh, we could put it right there. And by the way, see how I have the flower up here? We can move it. When you assemble these cards, they're yours, so you should change it. You can, you know, flip the way you have yours. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine. That's the creativity part. I do all the work and I get all the pieces cut for you, and then you have all the fun. So that's the first project. What do you think? Round of applause. Woo! Winkastella. I put that shit on everything. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. Stuff. I put that stuff on everything. I didn't really say it, did I? Oh my gosh, that's too funny. All right. Oh, I'll have to edit my YouTube version of this. That's funny. Okay. So I'm going to just get started and jump right in with the next card. Diane, I miss you, girlfriend. Oh my goodness. All right. So isn't this pretty? Misty Moonlight is my absolute favorite color. And my second favorite color is Seaside Spray, and that is going out. So I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of next week's projects from my team, and you're going to laugh. I used the same stamp set again, but I paired it up with the butterfly stuff that's on pre-order for people who are demonstrators or people who buy a starter kit. Aren't they pretty? So these are going to go out in the mail this week for my team meeting next Sunday. But this color, the Seaside Spray and the Misty Moonlight together, I'm already mourning the loss. I don't know what I'm going to do without Seaside Spray in my life. I didn't say it. You did. Yeah, no, I know. I said it. I'm sorry. I read it, and you know, what's that rule in your brain? Like, if you know the first letter and the last letter of a phrase, that your brain automatically finishes it. That's what I'm going to go with. I was on autopilot. Yeah, that's all right. That's why they make the edit button. Okay, so I opened the Misty Moonlight ink pad like we did in the beginning, so you guys all know how to do that. And then this is a cleaner. There's a couple different kinds of cleaner. This one's my favorite, and this is called the Scrub. And the mist now comes in a huge bottle, and I prefer the little bottle, so I just refill the little one. But I need to clean my stamps because I was prepping for next week's class when I was doing this class. But it's pretty cool. We used the same stamp set a couple months in a row for my team. So they really got a lot of samples with the one set. Plus, you can get that kit that goes with it. So everything matches. It's fantastic. Oh. Poor Diane, I don't need any help getting in trouble. She doesn't cause my delinquency. It's all me. So Apex, North Carolina. So you guys are all over North Carolina. Like, I love that. I'm gonna just stamp this congrats in Misty Moonlight. This color kills me. And then you may notice that I didn't put a bunch of little pieces in your kit. Instead, some of these are so small, I just wanted to make sure that I didn't lose anything. So I put them all in little baggies for everybody. So when you get your kit, yours will have a little baggie in it. And then I'm gonna take this sprig punch. It looks like reindeer antlers, and I'm just gonna rip it apart. And we need a blue flower and a white flower. These are out of the small bloom punch, and I already punched them for you. And then this little guy came from the hydrangea dies. So when you have the hydrangea dies, you can cut 9 of these in one swipe. So it was easy prep. Well, I'd say easy prep, but I'll call it slave labor for today. But I'm gonna take my bone folder again and just kind of curl the edges on this guy. And here we go again. Okie doke. Ta-da. So I'm going to put a little bit of liquid glue, and then I'm going to put this kind of like a drop shadow behind it. When it sits on against the designer paper, it's really important. Now, when you're putting the little tiny hydrangeas on, I have a trick. I'm going to take my glue and put a tiny drop on the paper, and then drop the hydrangea on, because if you try to go the other way and you put the glue on the hydrangea, it is not going to sit right for you. So I'm just going to press down right there and let that set up for a second. And then while that's going on, I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of this guy. And just adhere him down. Okay. Might help if I put the glue on the right side. So on every tape runner that you've ever had, if you use my tape runner or ones from another company, there's a bumble strip. So you always put your finger on the bumble strip. That's how you know you're going in the right direction. For mine, the new one is an over the top. Oh look, because it was a punched paper and this is super sticky, it actually pulled some of the punched paper off. So I'm gonna go backwards and put the adhesive there. And then I can put my leaves whichever way I want them. They don't have to be in that perfect order that they were in before. and then we'll drop that flower on top of the adhesive. So these are those pearls I was telling you about. So you'll get the exact number that you need if you spend $35. If you bump it up and you get your free item to $50, you'll get a full package of pearls with your 5-card kit and the directions. So I'm going to, this is a putty tool, and it helps you pick up your stuff. So what I did was I advanced it, and then it comes out kind of like toothpaste. Ooh, that's my sweater. So once you get it to start coming out, back it off so that you don't waste any, because it'll just keep coming out like toothpaste. And then I'm going to use it to pick up my little tiny item and drop it on my flower. And that's a close-up. Isn't that pretty? Okay. So I've already used the You Are Amazing with the black, but then I cleaned it. So I really like that for an inside as well. This is an awesome set because you can use it multiple ways, but I'm going to stamp the You Are Amazing for the inside of my card here. And you know what? We don't need a naked envelope. We can stamp it on the flap as well. Okay, so I really wish that you were across the table because it would make life easier. So if you're new to this, like my friends Kissy and Lori and a couple of people that I invited that don't actually stamp already, and even if you do stamp already, every single Monday night I do a live Zoom chat where we can have a conversation across the table instead of me kind of talking at you. So that's where you would bring any questions that you have. Once you get your kit, you can come to Monday night and you'll have a panel of experts that can help you through your card class. So that's the second card. Check it out. So that's 2. So pretty. Oh my gosh. All right. So this is the next one. And holy card pieces, huh? I have a sample of this one though, so that's good. So in this one, you're going to see that you have a whole bunch of pieces, die cut piece. And, you know, if flowers aren't your thing, you can always go backwards and do stripes because that's adorable, right? And then you have this piece, which is to sit on the black. And then there's a smaller piece. The smaller piece we're going to use to stamp the For You in Flirty Flamingo. Now, if you don't have Flirty Flamingo, you could do the whole thing in black. But if you have it, I included a piece. Oh, look at glue dots. Never know what you'll find lingering on the table in the studio. Okay. So I could cut this up and later on use it for different parts of the stamp. But for right now, I'm just going to take the For You and I'm going to close this because if I don't, bad things will happen. Okay, so For You. Oh yeah, and like 3 cheers and hip hip hooray, we could use those on different projects again, but for right now, I just need the For You. So I'm going to put that to the side. And here's my For You. And then on this dimensional sheet, you can see I've already used the skinny side of all the leftover pieces, and this one's a little too thick. So once again, I'm going to be cutting my dimensionals in half because I couldn't find my minis. But that's okay. So we can just cut them right up the middle. Flip that over and stick them on. Piece of cake, right? It's all fine and good until you can see the dimensionals. There we go. Here we go. So, are you guys drinking anything fun? I've got coffee. Well, actually, I have Bada Bing Cherry Bye at the other end of the table if I wanted to get up. But that's an awful lot of work right now. And I'm here with you, so. So I'm just cleaning the Flirty Flamingo off my ink pad, and then I can use the second image. Now, for some reason, this isn't looking like it's inking up for me. See that? It's not really getting the ink. Well, every time I buy an ink pad, I also buy the refill. So I'm going to throw a little more ink on this because I like my black to look really stark black. And I'm going to give it a second to set in because if not, it'll be like goop. But hang on one sec. While we're waiting for that to set in, I'll assemble the card. But I don't like the way it was covering, so it's probably a good time to add a little bit of ink refill there. So the Seal Plus adhesive, I don't know if you noticed, but the release, I've been kind of like releasing up the top, like over the top. It has these little breaks because it is so super sticky that this is plenty of adhesive. It goes so far. Hang on. I'm going to use my envelope so I can see where I'm going with my layer. Seemed like a good idea to buy a black table for a video, you know. Okay, and then we'll put our designer paper down while we're waiting. And this is going to go to the top of the black. And like I said, I have all the dimensions for this in a full shopping list. So when I send you the card kit in the mail, it won't be hard to assemble at all. Then this sits behind the stitched shape. I love that so much. It's a perfect setup. I'm going to put this kind of towards the middle of my card. And then we'll bring that ink pad back in now that the ink had a minute to soak in. And it's going to be super dark now. If I have a really big stamp like this, a lot of times I'll ink up backwards to make sure that I like how it looks before I stamp it. And that's my die cut. These are from the Sweetly Stitched die cut shapes. And if you're, I'll shout it out when I know the name. And if you're making a list, just make your list for afterwards. And I don't like how that came out at all. Good thing there's two sides to the paper. I went too high. I'm gonna come back a little bit. Way better. So if something isn't working, you can always just flip it over. And here's my little for you. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 white flowers and 3 Flirty Flamingo. I'm just gonna dump these but again, the easiest way to do this is to do like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then grab that take your pick tool and use it to pick these up. And there is a decorative side on these flowers, so it's way easier just to pick them up and roll with it. That one's on the back side. Okay, so this 4 white, and then I'm gonna go back in and do the 3 in the Flirty Flamingo. And you can just sprinkle them on. It doesn't have to be exact like mine. Wherever the glue lands. So cool though. I didn't think I was gonna like this floral designer paper, but I do. I love it. I didn't think that, like, I thought that cherry cobbler was like a wintry, like a Christmas color, but boy, when you pair it up with these colors, it kills me. Okay, and then we're gonna bring our little pearls back in. So we'll need 7 pearls for this card. And like I said, they were all included in your kit. And I've pre-cut this already, so these are ready to fly out the door. I did this last month with my team for the team meeting. And I do the same for them. I pre-cut everything if they want a kit. And I just, it's just $10 for them. So cool, huh? All right, so that's the third project. Okay, number 4. Thank you so much, Janelle. You know, it's been really cool during this kind of mess to get thank yous back in the mail, especially for people who are really being careful and they don't get out at all. They say that the card kits have been their saving grace. So just so you know, if you're one of the people that's been sending me those messages, you're keeping me going, because it is quite a bit more work without you know, the helpers that I'm used to. So although this morning I have to say my husband was a workhorse. He did a good job this morning. Boy, I'm gonna have to cook him a fancy dinner or something. Although he did that too. He cooked. We've been doing what's it called? Home Chef, and we had to cook today because it was like day 5. You know, cook within 5 days, and he did both of the Home Chef meals that we got, and they were so good. So I'm really spoiled today. Maybe I'll make him a card. Funny. All right, so I just stuck the designer paper on this pre-die cut shape and tied some ribbon on and trimmed off the excess. Now I have this white paper, and you might be wondering what I'm gonna do, what, pray tell, we're gonna do with that. I'm gonna bring this thing back in because I need it for a second to stamp off. So this stamp set has like this cool little thought bubble, and I'm gonna ink up and stamp off. Oh, that's a good question, Shannon. At the end of this video, at the top, I'm going to put all of the items that I used today in up top. So I'm stamping off on this scrap paper. And then I'm going to use the ink color that's the next color down on this piece here. Okay, so we get a thought bubble. So anyway, when you place a $35 order, I'll send you this card kit for the 5 cards. And if you spend $50, I'm going to send you a full package of pearls instead of one that just has the number of pearls you need for your class. So I'll bump it up a little bit, and you'll use the host code up top. But I just need to get it back in and edit the description because it wouldn't let me do it when I first signed on. I had it all ready to go. Every item that I used here is going to be listed at the top of the video in the description. So it'll be about 5 minutes after I shut the video down, and we'll be good to go with those codes. And be sure also to let me know, Shannon, if you need current catalogs, because I don't mind if you're placing an order with me. I don't mind putting catalogs in the mail to you with your card kit. Okay. So you're going to notice I fussy cut this out, huh? Well, we don't have a die that does this, but it's kind of cool. I will give you a tip when you're fussy cutting. whenever you're fussy cutting around an image, and of course I'm done now, right? Always move the paper and not the scissors, because it will make your object less choppy. So if you're doing this, like, and kind of cutting in, it makes it much more choppy. But if you just take your time and you move the paper and let the scissors, like, let the paper come to you and keep the scissors in front of you, it'll keep your hand nice and steady. And then when you go to cut yours out, you'll have a cool thought bubble. So we stamped on the scrap paper to take the first color off, so that this would be a nice lighter gray. And now I'm gonna do the basic gray, which is a darker gray. Hey Jill, good to see you. Dabber-doo. Okay, when someone has a different Facebook persona, I get all excited that I know their real name. It's like, oh, like Santa, I know him. Okay, so I stamped the happy birthday, and then this one, I'm just gonna flip this over and put that layer up on dimensionals. I do these card classes every single month, and I have another one in the works for the beginning of March. So if you're not on my email list, be sure to fill out the door prize form to get on my email list, because I do have just regular card classes every month that are like this, and they're pre-cut kits that I'll send to your door, and they're usually free with an order, or sometimes they include products, so that's kind of cool. The ones that include product are fun. I do 3 retreats a year. The next one's going to be online, unfortunately, but I can't wait till we can all be back together, stamping in person. So here we go. Happy birthday. And then, you know the trick with this now, we're going to put the glue down, grab our take your pick tool, make sure that we have the front, and of course I got the back again. That can be our fingers to pick stuff up. And then I can use one of those little pearls for this one. Isn't that cool? So simple and pretty. This one was embossed with the 3D embossing folder. I did a Big Shot, Stampin' Emboss and Cut Machine video a couple of weeks ago. So if you missed it, let me know, because I can put the link back to this party group so that you guys can find it easy. But I did the mini cut and emboss for that one. I like the big machine because I like the bigger folders. I want to be able to use whatever I want. And I want to be able to buy whatever I want, which is why I have my own discount. If you have a giant wish list, that's probably the best bet. Just snag yourself a starter kit and get a discount on your stuff. Okay. That's the 4th project. Can you believe we've done 4 cards already? So Shannon, you would need your own stamps and your own ink and your own adhesive. I provide all the pre-cut pieces, the pearls, the ribbon. I'm just not allowed to stamp the images and send them through the mail. That's against my my company's agreement for me. So, but at the top, you'll be able to see the stamp set that we used and pick up what you need. And of course, when I see your order come through, I'll provide you with all the directions and the dimensions and the full supply list and everything you need. But the supply list will be at the top in the description of what I used as soon as I finish with the video. Good questions. Oh, thank you. So Jill's saying that she likes my fuzzy red sweater. It's one that I bought online for Valentine's Day, and I feel cute when I wear it. Only as I walk around the house, there's bits of fuzz coming off all over the place. So, oh well. All right, here we go. Oops, I'm dropping stuff on the floor. Perfect. after doing 4 cards, you start to run low on where your stuff ended up. Okay, so for this last card, it's a thank you card. And I think, how cool is it that we're finishing up with the thanks card? Because I am so grateful that you're here. And like I said, no matter what your level is, you know, it's about starting from the beginning. So you can take a sip and try a little bit. And this one, I'm going to go smack dab in the middle of thanks. Like that. And then I'm going to pick up the piece of paper I launched on the floor. I pre-embossed this already. This is the Tasteful Textiles 3D embossing folder. It's such a great folder. Makes your paper all funny. The reason that I bought my first die cutting machine was I realized I could do the envelope flaps, and then that was it. I had to have one. So I still have my little bucket of stuff over here. This came out of my bag, and everybody gets a bag with the same amount of stuff. So you can assemble your cards. There's a few extra whites. I just threw them in because when you cut with the hydrangea dies, you get 9 from one strip. So it makes it really easy to cut for everybody. I would recommend, if you're brand new to stamping, that you consider for this particular class getting the H block and the D block, and it will be they'll be in the supplies that we used up above. And don't feel like you have to get all the ink pads. Like, for example, for this card, if you wanted to just do the black, you could probably do without the Flirty Flamingo. But I think everybody should get a Misty Moonlight ink pad just because I think they're awesome. But again, it would work with the black ink pad if you wanted to substitute black ink. And I would say Wink Estella, we put that stuff on everything, so you should probably consider getting a Wink Estella brush if you don't have one. But the H block and the D block will mean that when you get this stamp set, you'll be able to have everything that you need to load the stamps on the blocks and stamp. And then you clean them, and then you can peel them off like this so that you can use it for the next stamp. So you really only need a couple of blocks to get started. What I did when I was brand new to the cling stamps is I would buy a block every time I bought a stamp set. That way I wasn't feeling like I had to buy everything all at once. And these are mini glue dots. I don't touch them with my fingers. But what I do is I peel back and reveal the next glue dot till I can see it. And then I stick the item to it. Now I've pre-tied these bows in the kits for you. So that's all done. And you just pick it up with a glue dot and stick it down. And so you should have a pretty good wish list if you don't have anything. And if you do, and you need help with your order, please message me afterwards. I would love to help you with an order. I have a couple less computer savvy customers that I'll even put their orders in for them. So just let me know what you need, and I'm here to help. This is my full-time job. Okay, so let's go back to, how about some more hydrangeas? Because, like, I love how it pulls in the flowers. So you can get this designer paper for free with any $50 order in the store up until next week. And then after next Sunday, celebration's all done for now. Sad face. But next month we have butterflies to look forward to. So for those of you interested in joining my team, butterflies are going to be really big next month. That's why I'm doing them with my group next Sunday. My team. So I'll give you a sneak peek at those cards again. So they could sign up for them today. See, look, I got all my chicken scratch notes on the back with my dimensions so I can write up the directions. And that'll be next Sunday with my team. The majority of the people on my team are hobby stampers. The lady, I had a lady sign up yesterday. She said, oh no, I can't sign up to be a demonstrator. I need customers first. And I'm like, why? She needs stuff. So she's getting her own discount for a bit and we'll see how it goes. You know, no pressure, no worries. But that's the kind of ship that we run. We're here to support each other. Okay. This might be my favorite. I don't know what it is about this color. The Just Jade is so stunning. All right, so we made 5 projects. Can you believe it? All right, I'm gonna pull the computer back in and see if you guys have questions for me. If there's any newbies, I definitely welcome questions because I don't know what you don't know, and I've been doing this a long time. So I want to make sure that I've answered your questions and hopefully not blown your brain up so that you don't know what you want. But if you don't know what you want and you need help with an order, buzz me, because that's why I have a job, you know, because I'm here to help. Let's see. Ugh, it looks so dark. Hang on. Let's see if I can make it lighter. Oh, nope. Can't do it. Oh, well. It is a nice, bright, sunny day out there, even though it's chilly. So I'm glad that we have, so you are starting from scratch, Shannon. Well, when we get off the live, just, if you want to private message me, I can send you my phone number, and I can help you. We can just take our time and go through slow, you know, because honestly, I got time right now. I even have time, like this is my favorite part of the workshop, when we can sit back and relax and I can help people place their orders, and if they need something, I can make sure that when you sit down, you'll be successful. What I really like to do is I like to look through the catalog and pick a stamp set that I really like, and this one I've used for 2 team meetings in a row. I love it, and it also marries up to that card kit that's in the January through June catalog, so it's like a triple dip for me. I've used the stamp set like crazy. It's very useful and it has all the sentiments. So even moving forward, I could see you could use this for a lot of different things. So that's what I look for. I look for a really good stamp set. I pick a designer paper that I like, and then I'll pick 1 or 2 colors of paper to go with, and maybe a color of ink and some adhesive. That's a good place to start. And then, you know, when you get your stuff in, everything that you have matches. So you're not hunting and pecking, and you don't have one color of everything that we carry in the book. You have solid choices so that when you sit down, you can make, you know, 20, 40 cards, and you didn't spend $1,000 to do it. You've got quite a bit of stuff, and everything coordinates. When before I did this as my full-time job, I worked at AC Moore, and I used to do demonstrations and classes. But one of the problems I had with working there was nothing coordinated. So I would get, you know, I would pick out some stamps in the aisle, and I still have the very first stamp. I think it was around this time of year. It was like an Easter, like lily. But I would go into the aisle and I would try and find paper that matched ink. I used a lot of Versamark, which is the clear watermark, because that was the only thing that I could find that matched. And then I'd go in the aisle and try to find ribbon, and you finally find a ribbon that matched, and they only give you a yard. So our ribbons typically come 10 yards on a roll. So if you're buying a roll of ribbon and it matches your, you know, pack of cardstock, with designer paper and your couple of colors, well, then you're really off and running, because you can make a lot of cards with one bolt, 10 yards of ribbon. It's a lot of ribbon. So I like that much better. And I know that if my Bumblebee ribbon is going to match my Bumblebee Designer Series paper, as well as the Just Jade matches the Just Jade. So we're set up to be successful right off the bat. We kind of cheat a little bit because we have everything that sits and coordinates together. But those are all really good questions. Anybody else have questions for me? I'm really going to enjoy my coffee now. So yeah, somebody said they liked my shirt, and I think it was Jill. I was joking with my husband that, yeah, I really like you guys. I actually put clothes on today. I'm not in my work pajamas. Too funny. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'm going to leave this party open for a whole week, and it'll give us time to bring in people who have to watch the recording because they couldn't be here live with us. Like I said, for everybody who places the $35 order in my online store, I will send you the 5-card kit. You'll still need your own stamps and ink, and I will post the stamps and the ink and the complete supplies of what I used at the top of this video, probably about 5 minutes after I get off. Hopefully sooner, knock on wood. And then if you spend $50, instead of getting the exact number of pearls that you need to make your project, which was quite a few, I think there were like 12 or something, I'll send you a full package of pearls if you use the host code from the party today. So I very much appreciate all of you. Thank you for spending Sunday afternoon with me crafting. This is great. It is definitely, I'm still with the right company. I'm still doing the thing that I'm supposed to be doing at the right time. And I have gotten quite a few blessings from, this pandemic has been terrible for people, but it's been good to be able to bless people from home and send kits through the mail. So I do them every single month. And if you want to make sure that you're on my list to get kits every month or card classes, I do retreats. Oh my gosh, my retreat boxes I love to spoil. So make sure that you watch out for retreat. I have one planning in March. My March retreat is called Crafting is Essential. So there are pillow gifts, and I try to send you essential gifts that you might need for crafting. So yeah, I'm excited about that one. But Marsha, I love you too, my friend. Thank you so much, everybody. And I will see you soon, hopefully, in person. Ha. Love you.